Welcome back. This is Trevor with the Impact of Oregon podcast. I have Nikki and Jess from MEC here to talk to us about some of the services that they provide to the community, specifically as it pertains to mobility devices and communication devices. So, Nikki, you want to tell us about how you can help families with mobility devices?
Yeah, so I'm Nikki Sanger. I'm founder and CEO of MEC Disabilities, and we help people with disabilities and children with disabilities 21 years and younger get adaptive equipment throughout the United States. In this area, we get a lot of adaptive equipment applications in Southern Oregon for cubby beds because they are not covered by a lot of the CCOs of this county, but also for adaptive trikes and bath chairs, as well as adaptive car seats, especially for the older children that have to have a little bit of extra stability in their upper body.
What about like hoists for people that are immobile? Is that something that
We've gotten like one application within the last year for this area for equipment that helps with transfers
right?
and transferring, and that mostly just has to do with what insurance is able to get and how it will be covered. Because, so for example, a lot of like wheelchairs or adaptive strollers, that's like one of probably our biggest area that doesn't come across too much. Like, we normally do a lot of insurance advocacy in that area for it, and we're able to get it covered for the most part. But we do get a lot of equipment applications for either adaptive strollers or wheelchairs due to the fact that you get one or the other with insurance, and it's only able to be covered for every 2 to 3 years.
Gotcha.
Which prior to COVID and before I started this, it was about every 1 to 2 years, depending on when they grew out of their equipment. But now it's moved to every 2 to 3 years, and there's going to be a lot of Medicare and Medicaid cutbacks, which is going to affect that and the special education school system. So on top of everything we do for the adaptive equipment, we also help schools get equipment and different tools that they need for the kids in the special education program. And then we also help with just honestly just across the board with everything that is either getting pulled away from or they're just not getting the funding in the certain areas. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now. And then we're also working on a program right now that can be used at any school. That is our inclusion initiative, and it's helping the special education classes be integrated in more with the general education population, whether that be with what's like at lunch times or recess, or even in like PE classes, just easy things that they can implement. And then we're also adding in different tools for those teachers and different trainings that will help them get their children in with their general education population.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, that's amazing.
yeah.
And so, in regards to communication devices,
Yes. So my son is autistic and non-speaking, and I've gone through a personal journey with getting him a speech device. I had one prior to him being in speech therapy. The easiest way to get one of these devices is they are covered by insurance here in Josephine and Jackson counties. How that would work would be you would need a referral from either a primary care physician or the speech pathologist, either at school, or if they have speech therapy, that would be how you would go about it. They submit the referral to a company that we work with, I guess in our community is called AbleNet, and they're really user friendly as far as like as a consumer aspect. Like, I've worked with them. So they will send out a device that comes in a military grade case like this. This is an extra one that belongs to my son. This is an iPad, and it will come initially with a trial of multiple different speech apps that you can trial with your child. We use Proloquo2Go, And how this would work is, I think it's a 90-day trial that you get. And then once you've decided which speech app that you would like to use, then they send you back another device that has that actual app on it, including this case. If there are any damages to the iPad or the case, that company actually will cover the replacement for it. So this is Proloquo, and how this works is the parents would actually need to model on here, which is like showing your child like your child didn't learn how to talk independently. And this device works very similarly. It is not to replace speech. It actually helps build speech. And the younger that a child begins with this, the better it is. So on this device, you'll have like a folder. This is
Can
the
you
very
real quick
beginning.
go back to the previous page where it shows
Yes.
the logo for Proloquo?
Yeah, sure.
So, because that's
It's an
if
owl.
you didn't know how to spell it,
Oh,
that would be
it's, yeah.
yeah.
It's spelled Proloquo2Go.
The number 2.
The number 2, yeah. You can also, if you don't have access to insurance, you could do this on your own. You could purchase an iPad and purchase the speech app itself. That costs $250 for the speech app, without going through the process of insurance.
And what would
So-
one of these cases be roughly?
well, these cases would be around $100 for the case. You're looking at around $100 for the iPad. I personally recommend having a tempered glass screen protector, even with this case. Some places will sell refurbished iPads that have a tempered glass screen already on it. Again, we've been through a series of these. So you would hit Proloquo, and this has a huge grid size, but it has different folders that will say about me. Let's see.
My name is Jackson.
So it will say, my name is, you can say what your name is, what your age is. With my son, most commonly, he uses it to request food. So he'll say, let's put it up really loud.
I want
Let's say,
food.
I want food. He could say that he's hungry. You can tap this and it will say the entire sentence. Or you could use the keyboard and you can type. So my son actually, if he's not sure of what he wants, I can ask him different questions and he can type the answers on here, which is a whole different type of language. So it's really great. And most of the time kids will already have a huge receptive language is what they understand. And this is to work with expressive language. And you'll find that the more this device gets used, it goes from 1 word to 2 words to full sentences.
Okay,
so-
that's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And I'm going to add in one little thing on that. So a lot of parents are given this and they're not really shown
Yep.
how to do it or how to implement it in everyday activities. So we are actually doing
cool logo.
a whole we're doing a whole series where families can go online and we'll have it available starting in the spring
Yes, that's
on how
So-
to
Take a picture.
one of our board members is a speech therapist and she has done and did a whole program on how to use a speech device, how to implement it, how to get it done correctly by the physician that's either asking for it or the specialist so that they word it correctly so that insurance does cover it.
Yeah.
So our whole video series is going to be online by spring so that during spring break then families can go on and initiate different classes that we have on there. And that is one of them. So it does go over the speech devices, how to ask for one and how to get one through insurance. And if not, families can always come to us and ask and we can help provide any details that they need.
Yeah, she did a training course for us as well that we've offered to parents, caretakers, DSPs, family members, how to model just like I was showing you, like I want this or different things. She's an absolute rock star. She was my son's speech therapist prior to pursuing higher education, and I didn't know how speech therapy was going to work for a non-speaking child, and she just got the best out of my son. So we're thrilled to have her be part of our board.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So we wanted you guys to come on to talk about mobility devices and communication devices.
Yep.
But beyond that, just give us another overview of MEC and what you've got coming up as far as events.
Okay, so we opened the first 100% free sensory space in the whole U.S. in 2023. That is still ongoing in Josephine County. We are hoping to open another one in Jackson County. The grant situation we are still working on to get it open here. But that is currently in the works. We are doing a Laugh for Love kids comedy show at the Wild River Pub in Grants Pass in April. And then we are also having our second all-inclusive Easter egg hunt called Evelyn's Hunt, which will happen at Fort Vinoy Farms on April 19th. And those are our biggest things that are coming up. We are doing a national gala on July 26th, but the location is still to be determined. So.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you guys are a real asset to the community, and we're glad to be partners with you guys. So thank you for taking the time to come on today.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.